You are listening to I Am Refocused podcast with your host, Shemaya Reed. This podcast is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. Now, let's tune into today's podcast.
Hey, this is I Am Refocused podcast. We're here once again right here at Rockefeller's Barbershop. Shout out to Rico Rodriguez, the owner of Rockefeller's. Man, we have a returning guest every single month. B Michele, Coach B. Coach.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Your brand coach. Can't talk today, man. I was talking just fine just before we went live, man.
I'm sorry.
But, you know, today it's going to be about the 2 C's, man. You're talking about character and your circle when it comes to your business. So before we get too deep into that, man, tell everyone about your business.
Well, I am B Michele, the brand coach. So I help solopreneurs, small businesses, and organizations brand themselves. And what that means is I really help you determine who you are as a business, your personality. So it's like I help you develop your business personality as it relates to your target audience and helping you find your target audience. And then we also make you look good. Make sure you have your logo looks good, your apparel looks good. You just winning and shining all over the place, internally and externally. Yeah. So that's what I do.
Winning and shining.
Winning and shining.
That's good because winning and dull, it's not gonna work.
Mm-hmm. Winning and shining. Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the 2 C's today, character and your circle, which one you want to talk about first?
Let's go with character.
All right.
Let's go with character.
So what are we going to learn today about character, man, when it comes to your business?
Well, here's the thing. I don't know, and I know you'll chime in, of course.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I will say, I think over the last 5 years, well, even longer than that, I think even when I was, it's so funny. Okay, so I posted today, my Throwback Thursday was a picture of myself at my birthday party in 2010 when I lived in Abu Dhabi. And just thinking and reflecting back on that experience living there, teaching all the people, the good, the bad, and everything that I went through on a level of just, experiencing a new country, a new culture, and all of it. Starting a business. And I realized that all those 4 years definitely prepared me for the place that I'm in now.
Yeah.
And there was definitely I've always had the same core. I've always been core to the core of the same person, but I think that situation definitely changed who I was character-wise, and so I developed some different characteristics. Mm-hmm. And I would say I also valued some characteristics, even like loyalty. Mm-hmm. And integrity and honesty, and then because when you have business partners, those are super important. Mm-hmm. And so bringing me to where, like, one thing I will say about that, because even when I was my company that I had there, it was 3 of us, and so we butted heads a lot because there was a dominant, strong person. And I know most people would probably never believe this about me, but like I'm really like more the laid back.
Nah. You sure?
I'm somewhat passive aggressive.
I like that.
Only because I know me, and I have that 0 to 100 effect. Yeah. So it's best that I keep it
100
and contained. Keep it contained, because when you hit that mark. Mm-hmm. You never know what could happen. So it's almost like you kind of have to really take me there for me to really just go all the way in. So when I hit 100, it's over. Like,
it's over by the time you hit 80.
It's probably over by the time, yeah. It's probably really over by the time I hit 80. But that experience and having my business partners and what, all the things that we did together, and it was definitely just important that it was just developing myself as a young entrepreneur. And because one of my business partners, she was, I want to say at least about 10 years older than I was. And I was 30 something, 32, 33 at the time.
Still 30.
Yeah. And so definitely being a young entrepreneur and having, you know, that older, you know, having two old, because both of my business partners were older than I was at the time. So I was just like, okay. And that whole situation just taught me a lot about myself and a lot about what's important and really how to, you know, be able to deal with people.
Yeah.
Now, I will say even like right now, my core character as a business owner, because I really do believe who you are as your character as a person transcends into your business. Yeah,
you can't have both.
Like, 'cause I just don't think you can switch it off.
No.
Like, if you're a raggedy person,
yeah.
I just don't think you can just be an awesome business. Like, then you just have awesome business acumen, but you raggedy over here, or you're doing questionable things in your personal life, and then all of a sudden on the business, then all of a sudden you're just a model business person.
Yeah.
And so it's like who you are as a person. Like, so it's almost like you really have to know who you are to the core, like really, and that has to seep out. Because one thing I think I am commitment and loyalty. Like, I'm loyal and committed by default. So I'm one of them type of people that I'll ride with you out the gate. But then it's like once you do something, and you know, I'll still hang in there with you, and I'll still hang like that's sometimes. I told my mother, like, this is a blessing and a curse, honestly.
Yeah.
Because like I'll go the distance with you until I can't go anymore.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes that's not a good thing though, because sometimes you gotta know and sometimes you put yourself in situations where you're like, okay, you probably, especially with a business deal, and you trying to stay in it and you trying to see it through, and you want to commit to the process, and sometimes you got to see those red flags that this may not be the business opportunity for you, or this may not, like, you may really want to be like, okay, this probably is not the proper way to do this. Too many things have happened, but because you're on that commitment train.
Sometimes it's hard, man. Like,
you're on that commitment train.
But isn't there a point though when you had to get off that train though?
No, that's what I'm saying. So it's like you finally get off and realize, like, I probably should have did this long time ago. But it's also, I think it's super important that just in business that you really have, I think, and let me just say this, I think in every level of business, but my audience and my core group of people are small business owners, so this is totally geared towards them and towards that demographics, is that you have to really do good business and have your character intact. Because one wrong anything, I mean, we've seen how this has played out so much in social media, especially when especially when you do something that's borderline racist, or you don't do, and people go to social media and your business is done.
Yep.
If it gets picked up enough, if it gets enough traction on social media, because your character is flawed to a point to where, like, nobody really wants to do business with somebody that's out there, saying those caliber things, or if you're out there not treating people properly, if you're not paying your employees, or you're not putting out a good product, and you knowingly, and these are things that you're knowingly are doing. Yeah. Not a mistake.
It's like, get to that point, if you don't care about it anymore, it's like, why in business?
Right. Because it's just a prime example. So we're working on Black Business Week right now, and so my role in Black Business Week is to put together the workshops and the classes. But speaking of, we need to get I Am Refocused on the Black Business Week train. So my role is to put the classes and workshops together. And so when I was making the flyer for it, I put Bexar County on the list. but I hadn't had a chance to. I would make my tentative list, and then I moved them to the fly. I put everybody on the flyer, but I hadn't had a chance to actually talk to the representative yet. So it was funny when they called me, and I was like, "Oh snap!" Okay, because I realized because it was already out there. But it's one of the things where you just have to recognize your wrongs. I was like, my bad. Let me take it off. Let me take you guys off into. Because when she said through a text, I said, nobody. I said, that was my bad. I forgot to narrow the list down because I've talked to all of these people. But I hadn't had a chance to talk to the rep from Bexar County yet. And so, but then we actually ended up talking. So it actually worked out. But I had to acknowledge the fact that I was wrong for putting that out there without getting the proper confirmation that they would be a part. And so, because that, you never want, like, you don't want to you can't just intentionally do stuff. Now there's one of the things where what does it say, it's better to do something now and ask for forgiveness later.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that works sometimes. I mean, you gotta play that one close to the vest because depending on the situation. But like when you're dealing with somebody's business or something like that, you can't really play that card.
Nah.
Because you'll put yourself in a bad position.
Unless there's a check attached to it.
Right. But it all worked out. And that way I was able to talk to the representative at Bexar County. They're going to come on board. They're going to do a class. But initially I was just working, and not realizing like, hey, I need, before I had put it out there. But I think sometimes we have to have, those are that's part of your character. When you recognize that you've done something wrong, like address it.
Just own it.
Yeah, and just own it.
A lot of times we just want to push it off to the side and act like it was us.
And hope that
it's our evil twin.
I know, right? You just want to, right? You want to act like it didn't happen. But I think a lot of people, and it's so funny because, and that's why I say this is more so just in a small business realm, because I think especially here in San Antonio, it's such a small world. And so if you're in business, and if you're really in business, people know you.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, it's not a segue, it's a half segue.
Go ahead.
Because I'm not changing the subject.
Okay.
Everyone knows I got a day job, so I was at my day job, and this lady came up to me and said, "Shemai Production Studio." And I'm working, I got my work, badge and all that stuff, because we do radio. And it's kind of off guard because I don't know her, I don't recognize her, so I just smile because I'm like, oh shoot, I'm an entrepreneur, I can't be like mean because she might put me on social media,
right?
And she was like, yeah, she might put us in the studio. I said, oh, how'd you know? She said, well, everyone knows San Antonio, like you do media stuff. She just put media stuff. So I just went along and said, yeah, that's right, I do media stuff. So to your point, yeah, you gotta be very careful how you put yourself out there.
And I think like you have to be. Because I mean, and it happens to me a lot. And that's why I tell people, like, especially in entrepreneurship, you're on all the time. Like, somebody talking about personal life. I really don't have one of those. So,
yeah, that's true.
I really don't really have one of those per se.
You don't even have time to have a personal life.
But right, so because when I'm out, it's B Michele all day, and so, but. I think, but to my core of who I am personally is also who B Michele is and who B Michele Professional Services as a company and who I am as a brand. We are one and the same.
Oh yeah.
And we go hard in the paint.
Yeah. I mean, you have to because people will see that anyway.
Yeah.
If you try to fake it and say, I'm gonna be like this, I'm gonna be like this. Nah, people gonna know the difference.
Now, mind you, we have bad days, so sometimes when you catch a person that maybe on social media or that you see out in public, maybe the situation don't go well, I think you also have to be mindful that we're human too. And one is so funny that a lot of people are talking this on celebrity, like I think one of the comedians, I think it was Deion Cole, I follow him on Instagram, but he was talking like, you have to realize that these comics and celebrities, they have lives, they're real people too. And sometimes you may come up to them in a situation, it may not be
bad timing.
Yeah, it may be bad timing. They may be going through. So you can't just go blasting people just because your one interaction with them may not have been that great, but you don't know what that person's been going through. So I think in a sense of especially when you are in the limelight, especially I think with San Antonio, especially if you're out there with your business, and this is for any city. Like if you're well known in your city, through business, you know how it is. And if you're growing a business and trying to get there, prepare yourself, because your character and who you are as a person will always be tested. And that's the thing.
Oh yeah, the test will come.
Your character will be tested
all the time.
And I jokingly say, don't let this brand fool you.
Oh yeah. You saw it when it's all polished.
Right.
You didn't see the construction.
But like, don't push me though. Now come on.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, there's two different kind of tests.
Yeah.
When you're tested.
Yeah. Like, but don't push me. Like, cause I want, cause I tell some people, I like, you always want to interact with B Michele. You don't want to interact with my personal side.
Yeah.
Because she don't know no better.
The VIP treatment.
You want to always communicate with B Michele, because B Michele have to be on her best behavior.
Yeah. You cross the line. You might,
at all times. So it's a good thing, because I'm like I said, I don't really get to be that person that have that. The people who know me personally, but just out and open. But I think character is really important, in that I think it's important that we also have a level of accountability with each other, as far as when you do things that are out of character, and hopefully that you're able to reflect and realize, okay, yeah, this probably wasn't one of my better moments, and check it and put it and fix it and move forward.
Yeah, put out the fire. Don't let the fire grow.
Because I think a lot of people, because at the end of the day, especially when you start to network, and that's what I'm saying about networking and building relationships, as you start to build relationships with people in a business setting, and that's a lot of people really are in tune to your character and your spirit and how you move, and then people watch it, and that's one thing I'll say. You want to be, if you out there, it's so funny. I had a lady inbox me, and she was like, I've heard, she said, everybody that has worked with you has had great things to say, and I'm starting a business, and I want to set up a time to meet with you to talk about my business. And I thought it was really cool that obviously she didn't talk to people. And so whoever out there championing for me, thank you so much. But that's what you want people to, you want people to be out there championing for you on your behalf, and being a sponsor and being a supporter and putting out good vibes when you're not there. And because that's the purpose of, definitely, when people know you and they know your character and they know the type of person you are, they have no problem. Yeah.
And then they will have your back if someone falsely.
Right.
Just leave it at that.
I know, right?
I'm just
but when they know it's not true. But see, we cannot. So I don't know if you saw my post last week, but we got to stop cosigning shenanigans. We got to stop cosigning shenanigans. When a person is wrong, they're wrong.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't care if we've been friends for 1 billion years. If you're wrong, you're wrong.
Yep.
We have to stop co-signing shenanigans. Like, real talk.
Mind your business.
Like, come on. We have to stop it. Because if you out there co-signing it, it don't make you any better than the person that's actually doing it.
That's true.
Like, honestly, if you out there co-signing wrongdoing, craziness, it doesn't really make you any better than the person who did the actual deed. Or the act, or however. So it's like, I think we have to come back to that whole, it take a village. Even as an adult, though, I think we have to keep that whole, it take a village mentality, especially in business. So, and this is why having a mentor is really super important, or having to help you keep certain things intact. Because if you're out here doing in shenanigans and doing stuff that's like really out, I won't say out of your character, because probably obviously it's in your character if you keep doing it. So that must mean it's part of your character if you keep doing it.
Part of the package.
Yeah, it's part of the package. But I think we just have to stop co-signing, shenanigans, like for real, and really help. Because at the end of the day, you have to come from, like Jennifer Lewis always say, you got to lead with love. So even when you do approach a situation, I think you have to approach it with the intent to really be helpful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In
addressing whatever character flaw may be shining bright like a diamond.
Oh, wow.
Whatever character flaw may be just like all the way out there, you may have to come from a...
I mean, let's just put it out there, man. Everybody got character flaws.
And we do. Oh, yes,
100%.
We do.
The point, though, for this episode is... know what they are.
Yes, know what they are. Yes, know what your character
out there trying to be an entrepreneur and you just like just take it.
Yeah, because honestly, if you know you don't have good intentions, and like just like I think it's so crazy because I feel like if you know you don't have good intentions, like those are the people that's always out here winning. I don't know why I seem like the people that are out here with bad intentions are always the ones out here winning.
There's levels to this, man.
I'm like, what is this? What happened to the good person? But no, but ultimately though, like real talk, the way you run your business and the personality of your business, because your business does have a personality, and that personality comes from you.
Yeah, it can't come from no one else because it'll be someone else's business.
Right.
It has to be you, 100%. Your fingerprint.
Yep. All the way through. So that's why I think, like, when I was teaching, we had this program called Character Counts.
Oh yeah, it does.
And so I think there needs to be an adult version of that.
Where it gets real.
I think there needs to be an adult version of Character Counts. Because sometimes you just have to know that. And here's the thing, I think things change and people evolve. Mm-hmm. Good or bad, people evolve. But I think as it relates to especially small businesses, as a small business, you really can't afford to have bad character. No. You can't really afford to, do shady stuff and be involved in interesting situations because your business is not going. I mean, like honestly, you might make it through one or two little mishaps, but if you really out here frauding people and your product or your service is really not what you say it is.
When it comes to legal activity, there's you won't last.
Only you just can't be out here just saying and doing. Because here's the other thing that I posted I think it was earlier this week, that when you become a leader, you have to watch what you say and watch what you do, and that's also part of your character. Because when you own a business, especially as you start your entrepreneurship journey, you are thrusted into a leadership position because it's your business. So you're kind of automatically thrusted into that position. And even if you are a solopreneur, you're a leader of one. You're the leader, but you're still the leader of your business.
Yeah.
And your clients, your customers, they technically are your followers. You may not have any employees or staff or whatnot, but once you become an entrepreneur, you're automatically a leader.
Yeah, you automatically have influence. You have a voice and you have a platform.
Yes.
Where everyone that goes to your services or whatever your product, they are using your platform to better their life.
Right.
Why am I going to Coach B? Because I need my brand intact. My brand might be kind of blurry right now. I need that sharpness.
Might be blurry. Come get it. Come get that clear. Come get that 2020.
Yeah. Your vision might be kind of messed up, but you go be Michelle, Coach B. By the time you leave,
you in that thing.
People know you changed.
I know.
They know something changed. Like they see you the next day. Like, man, you just got this glow.
So you made me feel like I need to break out. What's that gospel song? I know I've been changed.
Oh man. I wish I knew the song.
I don't know all the words. I just know it goes, I know I've been changed.
Oh, man. That's probably like 10,000 songs out there.
We might have to find that one.
But this ties into the second C of today, and that is your circle.
Yes.
Tell us how important your circle is in this crazy world.
It is super. It's funny. It is super important. I don't know. Do you follow Trent Shelton? He does Rehab Time. No, okay. So he's a former NFL player who recently became who like in the last 3 or 4 years have become a motivational speaker. Okay. And so I was scrolling through Facebook, I ran across one of his videos, and he really talked about how if the people really in your circle are not really trying to help you and take you to another level, like he said, that's not a circle, it's a cage.
Yeah, taking up space.
Yeah, taking up space.
Y'all ain't going nowhere.
But I also think like, so this is where this is also sometimes where character ties in, because here's the thing: you could totally have somebody that's really championing for you, but because they're not necessarily in this life, and some of the things that some of their character and their character flaws could seep in. They may really be championing for you, honestly, but because of some of the things that they do, you can't really go all the way in with, because it will affect your brand and your business. So I think that sometimes we have to be mindful of being around people and creating an atmosphere where everybody is just all encouraging everybody. And in your circle, like everybody should be like the whole team should be trying to win. Like, honestly,
somebody got to be trying to win. Somebody got to step up.
But the whole team, but like this thing, your heart, whatever it is, whether it's a business, whether it's they in a professional setting, you should be encouraging, because like I say, entrepreneurial life is not for everybody. But you may have people in your circle that maybe they have a professional job, but your role as their friend should also be encouraging them to take their position and whatever they're doing to another level, or making sure that they're out, expanding their horizons and like really living their best life. Because it don't necessarily have to do with entrepreneurship per se, but your circle, because everybody in your circle may not be a business owner, but just the people you keep, the people that you really do socialize with, should be for the betterment of yourself, and you should be giving that as well. So it's a as they say, debits and deposits. They both should be happening. There should be you can't just keep depositing and you don't get nothing back, or take. Yeah. So you can't do all of one or the other. There should be an equal balance of debits and credits within that.
You gotta water your grass too. Don't just watch their grass turning green.
Right. You gotta work. No, you totally do. And that's why I think like it's important. I said, and sometimes having a small circle can be a little interesting. Like, but I know everybody always like, I keep my circle tight, or I keep it small. And it's not necessarily about keeping a small circle. So, and here's the one thing I will say: it's not about a small circle. It's about who's in the circle. It ain't the size of the circle. So it's a quality versus quantity situation. And this is why I think people also have to realize your circle is not about how many people are in it. It's about the quality of people that are in it, the value that's being portrayed, the value that's being given and shared that's in the circle. Because if you got 10 people or 20 people in your circle, and all 20 of them people are bringing it every day, and y'all are encouraging each other every day, you're supporting each other day in and day out in some form or fashion.
No jealousy.
Yeah.
Just
it's like everybody winning on whatever they're doing in their professional or personal life. Y'all all championing each other to win. And so that's what I'm saying. Circles really are not about how small it is. Because having a small circle, you don't want it too small, because then you're not being able to bring in any new stuff.
And that's the key, new stuff.
You might be missing. There's probably elements that you're missing by only talking to the same 2 people every day.
Oh, yeah. You got to branch out.
So
you got to reach out for new places that you never been to.
We gonna have to. We gotta reject Drake's whole "no new friends." We gonna have to reject that, because we might need to get some new ones.
Only when you are having me time. If you're having like personal time, that's okay. But after that personal time, You need to branch out. You need to, because people are looking for brands. It's not like people are not looking for brands.
Right.
Why you think everyone, all right, I'm not dropping names, but I'm just going to do it. Why you think a lot of people, because I can't say everybody technically, but why you think a lot of people love Nike and love McDonald's and love Starbucks? Right. They love it for a reason. It's because that brand has connected to them in their lives and made their lives better in some shape or form. That's you as an entrepreneur. Your job is to be that value that someone can connect to, and you just keep doing it. You keep doing it. How you do it, you got to get with new people. You got to
get, and it's so crazy that a lot of my clients have become good friends of mine, but they started out as clients. And I had one client he told me that somebody had approached him about getting some stuff done for his brand, and he was like, "I'm loyal to B Michele." He actually told them that.
That's good.
And so, and that really, like, that was such a warm fuzzy for me. Like, I was like, oh.
That shows you're doing something that's valuable. Because if you're not, he's going to be like, yeah.
Right. And so it's like, I appreciated that so much that, I mean, for him to tell that to somebody really meant a lot. And so it's like, this is what the people in your circle do. You know what I'm saying?
They cheer you on.
Yeah, they cheer you on. They champion you when you're not there. They go to bat for you when you're not there.
And they keep you on your toes.
Yeah.
Because if you mess up, they're going to be the first one to say, hey.
Right.
That wasn't that.
Yeah, that wasn't the move.
Good look, man.
Or wasn't the move.
And you do that to each other because the thing is, when you have that mentality that I'm going to win, you understand that there gonna be some games you lose.
Right. Oh, you're going to take some L's.
Yeah, you got. As an entrepreneur, you have to take L's. Because if you're not taking L's, you're scamming somebody.
Right. And if you're not taking L's, then you're not learning anything.
You're scamming somebody.
Yeah, you're right. You scamming. You're right. You definitely probably scamming somebody.
You're about to get L's.
Right. The ultimate L. Depending. Locked
All
up.
Caps.
Look, locked up.
Or let me out.
Right. So you about to get the ultimate L. But no, I think that it's really crucial to know who's, like, honestly really, really, and not that whole halfway in. You can't do the double dutch thing. We're not hopscotching and double dutching with the circle. You're not gonna jump in, jump out, jump side to side.
Can't dip one foot in the water and keep on drying.
Right. So it's about also, that's something I think, and this is where the quality aspect comes in, and you have to know, and this is one thing, you have to know what you bring to the table.
Ooh, say that again.
You have to know what you bring to the table in every relationship, whether it's a friendship, a business relationship, or a romantic relationship.
You got to bring something.
Right.
No, you got to stay on that for a hot second.
Hey, I'm with it. Let's go.
You have to bring
something. You have to bring something of value.
You can't be that person that just show up.
Right. You literally have to bring something of value to the table. That's why, and I tell a lot of my clients, which a lot of my clients are spoiled, but that's a part of the brand, them being spoiled. It didn't set out to be a part of the brand, but it's become a part of the brand that a lot of my clients are spoiled because they're so used to me being there for them all the time. And they know that they can call me or they message me and or anything. So, but it has helped develop the brand and also develop the friendship, which also broadened my circle because they know they can count on me to be there.
Yep.
And so, and I know that if anything ever happens, like if I really needed to, I don't have to scroll too far down my phone for anything that I need to get a yes.
Yep.
So, because the relationship has already been built, the time has been put in that.
You already invested so much time.
You've already
effort.
You've invested, but you've invested into a good relationship, a good solid.
Yeah, you get a return on your investment. Yeah.
And so I think that's what I think. Even as a business owner, this is why having a good core circle to help you, because entrepreneurship is hard. It's hard.
Oh, it ain't easy.
Like, honestly, I feel like it's harder to run a business and start a business and make it successful than it is to go to work every day.
Oh, yeah. Because you are the work. Like you're everything.
Yeah, you're everything.
You're the IT. You're the everything.
Right. That's
you're the call center.
Oh, speaking of that,
sales.
the T-shirt. So I started putting it on a T-shirt. Actually, I'm the CEO, COO, the janitor, and the secretary.
Yeah. There you go.
Like, you're all of these things when you're first starting out, unless you got a ton of money to hire people out the gate. But yeah, as a startup, you are all of these things, and so that's why definitely your circle is super important, even from your family circle to your business circle is important. In some of these people may be it may overlap and be in both circles. It's important that it's an inspiring one, a motivational one.
And to your point earlier, I like the whole idea. It's not about keeping your circle small. It's paying attention who you allow in.
Right.
The circle.
It's totally about the quality. Yeah. It is definitely it's definitely not about quantity at all. I mean, about quantity. It's about quality, because it's almost like the whole saying of, like, if you're the smartest person in the room, you probably should leave, or however the saying goes. Like, you should never be the smartest person in the room, because that means there's no opportunity for you to learn. And so when you and your circle interact, everybody should be bringing something different to the table,
not just showing up to it.
Right. So everybody should be pouring into everybody in the circle to make the situation better. And so I think that's what you have to realize as you start developing as an entrepreneur, and as you start growing your business, is really being very mindful and strategic, and, as our word for 2019, intentional about the circle, and making sure that everybody in it has their own plan, their own path, that they're on their own journey to greatness, and we're helping each other get there.
You also mentioned before we even started the show, you can't take everybody with you.
Yeah, everybody can't go.
There's times you might have to switch circles.
Well, I don't necessarily say it ain't necessarily about switching circles. It's just that you may have to
kick people out.
You might have to serve them papers.
Yeah.
You might have to serve them papers.
Yeah.
In the words of Usher.
Yeah.
Oh, the papers. Wasn't that the name of the song?
I'm not going there. Okay. But yeah, I'm not going there.
You might have to. I'm gonna listen to that when I get in the car.
And only when I say switch circles, because I don't mean like your own circle. You just like switch some. I meant like when you switch, it just means you need to change scenes.
Yeah, no,
because
I mean
sometimes you can be rolling,
and some people have multiple circles, and some people have. I don't have multiple circles. I just got one, and everybody that's in it is in it. Because even my family members, like, because I come from a family of entrepreneurs, so they're in the entrepreneur circle, because they're all business owners. So it's always nice to talk to them about their business and what they're doing in their business. So it's all one circle. But you're right. Sometimes you need to change the scenery.
And that's what I meant. More like a category.
Yeah. And sometimes you do need to change the scenery. And sometimes some people, but you also have to realize that when some people in the circle are not necessarily living up to their full potential, it may, be time to move around.
Oh yeah.
Especially if it becomes too much,
a
drag or challenge, too challenging.
That weight starting to get heavy.
You're right, because at the end of the day, as an entrepreneur, you already have a lot going on in your life.
Yeah.
You definitely do not have time.
Drama.
To do, you definitely do not have time to be managing
something else. That's not your brand.
Right, that's not a part of the plan. And that's like, because you may be on your journey to greatness. It's important that, of course, you want everybody to win, but it's also important that everybody has to have the mentality and the mindset to be able to go as well.
Yeah.
And the places that you want to go, some people may not be ready or be able to go, and that's one of the things that you have to be okay with. Yeah. And it's not. I mean, it takes some time to get there when you have to serve those papers. And be like, this ain't gonna work out.
And that's the thing. It's okay if it goes in that direction, because that means you are growing.
Right.
And if you can recognize that.
And it goes back to your character. It's like, if you're staying true to who you are as a person, then as long as you do it for the right reasons,
because time, they always say time is money.
And it is.
But the thing
and
is,
time heals all wounds.
Yeah, as long as you're doing the right things too. Because if you're doing the wrong thing over and over and over and over again,
time, yes,
you're losing time to heal.
But I think, but you actually, well, I mean, at the end of the day, I think most people, set out. Nobody just sets out to have, to deal with horrible people.
In the beginning, it's a great idea.
Because it's like it's like your friends, okay? So like all the friends you probably went to college with, you were in high school with, and then all of a sudden, when you start to do something different out of the norm of what your high school, and also more so a high school, not necessarily a college thing, but I think it definitely happens from like the people you grew up with in high school friends. Mm-hmm. So when you start to shift and do something a little bit different out of the norm than what they're doing, that's when then you have to you do have to kind of remove yourself from certain atmospheres and environments. Mm-hmm. And it's not that you think you're better than them or that you trying to be somebody that you're not. You're growing. You have your own vision. You have goals. You have vision. And you're trying to get there.
I mean, just like if you watch a great movie, the main character, mm-hmm. every great movie, it has a climax.
Yep.
But it has to go through some kind of dark situation that they overcome.
Yep.
You gotta be that.
Them storms come.
Oh, they coming.
They gonna keep coming.
Yeah.
And it's just how you deal, it's how you interact and how you react to them.
Yeah.
Like, honestly. And
the main thing is not giving up and not putting yourself in a position to where you just, you just leave everything on the table and leave.
Yeah.
You want to keep moving.
Yeah, because you have to reevaluate at the end of the day, especially depending on where you want your business to go. And the thing is, the vision that you have for yourself as an entrepreneur and as a business owner and your brand, that has to be intact. Mm. And like I said, even earlier, I say, loyalty is a curse and a blessing. That's a characteristic that I have. That's a curse and a blessing. So sometimes not really knowing when to let go.
Yeah, that commercial.
Yeah, and so and when until that final moment comes, what you realize, okay, I can't anymore. Mm-hmm. So it's like, because I need to focus. We trying to make it to the mountaintop.
That's a good way to look at it, because if you don't have new goals, like for example, say you accomplish your goal that you want to do for this year in 2019. Well, if you don't set more goals,
right,
you just get comfortable, say, "Oh, I did it," and you do that for the rest of the year, like I did it. But what else though? Like you don't want to settle.
No, you don't want to settle, and you don't also want to settle, and that's like you don't want to get comfortable in a situation, especially when it comes to dealing with business and dealing with people, especially that may not be a good fit for where you're trying to go. Because as you're setting new goals, there's going to be probably new people that's going to be a part of those goals.
You make room,
So you do need to make room for the relationships that you need to build. And I'm not just saying that every relationship you build is a part of your circle. Not saying that, but you also have to make room and be mindful that it's going to take some new people possibly to make these things happen.
Make sure whoever is connected is valuable and breathing life into your business and not like draining.
Okay.
Make sure there's no leakage.
But that's why, and this is why it's important to have a very diverse circle on top of that, because as you start to grow into the goals that you want to have, somebody in your circle may be able to make that happen.
Yeah.
And relationships are, it's not about how many people you know, it's about knowing the right people.
Yeah. Yeah. You just need one person to point you in the right direction.
Everything is, I feel like everything always goes back to quality over quantity. Like, honestly, it's about being in the right situation, knowing the right people. You don't have to know everybody. Like, it's so funny that you mentioned when you was at work and the lady,
and it was solely random.
Like, it was real random.
My back was turned, and she said my first name, Shemaya. And I was like, is that my boss? Like, what's going on here? What happened? And then she's like, yeah, Shemaya Product Studio. I said, I had to catch myself because I'm like, I'm in my work mind frame. Right. And I had to step out that mind frame and go into SPS real quick and then come right back. So it's like, oh man, this is real cool, because just to your point, not just how you carry yourself, but just how you carry yourself, because whatever you're doing, adding value to people's lives, you never know whose lives you're touching. Right. And you don't know who's watching you touching people's lives.
Right. It's always on. I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you kind of...
You're like a lighthouse.
Yeah. But this goes back to just being innately just being a good person and having you know good character.
Yeah, being intentional and trying to be your best,
right? To do.
Because no one's perfect, but
right.
Yeah, at least
and
try.
So, and especially when you, I mean, because you're right, because with you and I both know, like, I know a lot of people, but I don't know these people.
Mm-hmm. Like they know you,
right?
Like they know your brand. They know the events you went to,
right?
Yeah.
So, and when I'm in places, the same thing happens to me. Like when I'm out, you know, in places, and I've been in Walmart, and somebody come up to me like, "Hey, I'm on your Facebook page. We in the bread aisle, you know, right? Trying to get some bread, but that's damaged."
So let's give people some homework, man.
Yeah. So I think
2 topics that we did today: the 2 C's, character, and your circle. Say as an entrepreneur right now, and like, thank you, Shemaya. Thank you. You read my mind. I don't read mine, so give people what they want right now, and that is some action steps. When they stop listening to this episode, what's that one thing that they can start tonight or tomorrow morning that can get them on the right path of building their business?
As far as what we're talking about, the whole character circle
the character
thing.
circle.
So I think one thing that you have to do is really take some time and do a self-reflection. Spend time in the spirit of Throwback Thursday. I think take that time, find it somewhere and really take that time. And honestly, I posted today and look back at all the things you've accomplished, give thanks for all your victories, for all your defeats, and how that helped build you to the person that you are today. It's really, everybody don't say don't look back, you're not going away, but you have to look back, because sometimes you got to look back to see how far you've come,
what worked,
and what worked and what didn't work. And not to say you stay that way, but there's nothing wrong with reflecting on the challenges that you've overcome, the victories that you've had, and how they've helped you and help develop your character and your business acumen to the person that you are today.
And sometimes it's not just doing something like new, like habits or whatever. Sometimes it's breaking a habit.
Yeah, and sometimes you're right.
Sometimes it's stop doing certain things.
Right, sometimes it's stop doing certain things. But I think as you take a look back at your journey through entrepreneurship or as a business professional and look at some of the things, you'll see how you've changed. And then that'll help you definitely set future goals and, even developing who you are even more and evolving even more. So I think it is definitely important that you always want to take some time just to self-reflect and look at situations where you probably that you did great, or look at situations where you probably could have did better or reacted or responded better. And in that character, in developing, who you are as a person, because this spills over into who you are as a business. So all of that has to be intact out the gate. And I'll say, as far as your circle, make sure that you're really building a sound quality circle. Make sure the people that's in your circle really bring value, that you're bringing value to them, because remember, it's a give and take. And that these are people that y'all can help each other grow and get to the end and see see the vision all the way through, because it's going to take more than just you.
Oh yeah.
And so you have to really focus on your circle. And remember, it's about quality over quantity. If it's 10 people, if you got 20 people in your circle, make sure them 20 people ride or die all the way.
Or just had the key ones.
But also you want to make sure that when I say even in that, the circle is about making sure that you definitely are like-minded. So let me say that. Let me back up. The circle, there should be like-mindedness in the circle. And when you're on your journey and trying to get and accomplish your goals and see, your vision and develop the brand that you have always wanted, it takes like-minded individuals on the right path. So that's why I say it's a quality over quantity. And if that's 5 people, if that's 10 people, it doesn't matter if you're all of like minds, and you all have the same goal, meaning to live your dreams or to aspire. That's what I mean by the same goal, not the exact same, but the same goals is to live
same mindset.
Yeah, the same mindset. Yeah. It's to be great in your niche, in your area, in your field. However, So you have the same goal of greatness, and that's what's super important. Is the like-mindedness of the circle.
But there you have it. Y'all have homework that y'all can start
making sure
doing.
you're interacting and going out, and sometimes you find these people in the least, the places you probably never would think of. They may not just be right in your face. So sometimes you may have to go out.
That might be on social media, man.
Right. So you may interact with people. You might meet people through networking, and you connect with people. Two of my clients, they met at Home Depot. So I met him at a crawfish boil at a party, and so he referred me to his friend. Well, when his friend came in for me to help him with his business, he told me how him and my other client met, and they met at Home Depot, and they've been friends ever since.
What matters?
And both of these gentlemen are over the age of 50.
What matters is the connection.
The connection, right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So you have to be open-minded to. You never know where you're going to meet these people at. Meet people that where you connect with, that have a like mind, that maybe somebody that you can bring into the fold, and you can become part of their circle, and they become part of yours. So I think you just have to keep an open mind about. There's no one way to get it done. So just be open minded about where this may happen at.
Well, there you have it, man. That is the homework assignment for all the listeners, man.
So go out and network and meet some like-minded people.
Well, that's the first thing you must do. Take action. There's no passive. They coming to me. Like, I'm just going to walk to Home Depot and all this crowd's going to rush me and say, hey, what's your name? No, you got to you got to be the one that...
Shemaya, I'm not playing with you.
Yeah, no, you got to be the one that says, hey, how are you? What's up, man? Like, hey, you entrepreneur? Okay, that's what's up. I do this, I do that. Because if you expect people just to poof appear in your life and say, B Michele, B Coach B, my bad. I've been looking for you all my life. That's not how it works. It'd be nice if that's how it worked, but that's just not how it works, man. You got to be the one that takes action. You got to believe in your brand.
You're right. You do have to believe in your brand. Here's the thing. If you don't do anything else, you have to believe in yourself. It's like that little meme on Facebook said, if you believe in Santa Claus for 10 years, you can believe in yourself.
Yeah.
For the rest of your life, for all your, honestly.
Yeah.
It starts with you believing in yourself, because if you don't, you can't expect other people to.
And that's the key. And we're going to land this airplane, I promise. There ain't going to be no turbulence. We're just trying to put all the details in, because when you stop listening to this show, I'm just going to put it out there, the podcast movement is strong. You might say, I could do a podcast. Like, you listening right now, say, I can do a podcast. Like, I can talk about my business. I can brand. I can get interviews. Because guess what? If I Am Refocused Podcast can do it, trust me, there's tens of thousands of people out there who are doing it already. And maybe that's something that you want to do. Or maybe it's just you go to a mixer event. Or maybe you just talk to someone on your job and say, hey, let's have a side hustle.
Yep.
Let's sell cupcakes.
You got to get started.
But do something. Yeah, that's the key. Get started. And those two C's, man, your circle
and character.
And your character. Keep those two intact, because guess what? Next month, B Michele, Coach B, so we're going to have some more fire for y'all. So I hope y'all get ready for that, man. Shout out to Rico Rodriguez, man, the owner of Rockefeller's Barbershop. Rockefeller's Barbershop right here in San Antonio, Texas. You need a haircut, you come here now. Like, as soon as you're done listening to this episode, just hit up Rico and say, hey, I need a haircut. But make sure you bring money, because there ain't no free haircuts here unless we're doing some special event for a charity or something. But yeah, shout out to Rico, man. He's been holding it down with us. Shout out to Miss T, man. She's doing her thing. And there's some other barbers here. They're not here right now, but I'm going to give them a shout when they come in. Man, B Michele, what's up?
Shemaya.
What's up?
What's up? Okay, so what? Okay, only thing we have coming up, the Connections Networking Mixer is always happening every second Thursday of the month. And then we have Black Business Week, which is May 18th to the 25th. So if you're in the San Antonio area, you definitely want to register and be a part of this awesome event to help expose and educate you and expose your business to the community, help you grow. So the website is blackbusinessweeksa.com. You can also follow me on social media, Facebook, B Michele, Coach B Michele for my business page. Instagram is Coach B Michele. It's all Coach B Michele. LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Coach B Michele. And that's B space Michele with one L.
If you get lost Just Google that.
Just Google, right. If you get lost, just Google B Michele. I promise you, I'm like on the first 5 pages.
Man, like always, appreciate you coming on the show every
You're
month.
welcome, anytime.
We got some dope things happening this summer.
Yes.
Because you got a new T-shirt that you're going to be making.
Yes.
Rock. Yeah, so
it's going to be interesting.
So all y'all out there, man, make sure you keep listening to this podcast. Share it with all your friends and family, especially if you know someone in the entrepreneurial world that needs some help. Because we all need help in this world,
Don't
man.
we though?
We all need help. So make sure you, this week, do something positive, man. Do something nice to somebody, because I guarantee you get it right back. And like we always say on every episode, keep God first, stay focused, and peace.